This is a very lonely journey for me. It was a vindictive decision to punish me for what I've done. And to this day, I just don't understand how the punishment fits the crime. All I did was ask questions and look after for my own sort of health. They don't want me to get well. They want me to stay on these machines and be enslaved because I'm not taking this jab.
I'm Yemini for Rebel News in Melbourne, Australia, here today to catch up with mother of two, Vicki Derderian, to share her story, her shocking tale with the world about how she was refused and still is being refused a heart transplant that could save her life because she has not had the COVID-19 jab.
I had a heart failure in 2020, which they call end-stage heart failure, where my heart could not pump. At the time, my body was very weak to be able to withstand a heart transplant. So they decided that I will have the ventricular assist device as a bridge to a heart transplant. So they're surgically inserted, and I have tubes coming out of my stomach that gets connected to a power pack, which is powered by a battery. So basically, up until 2021, and that's before these mandates came in for vaccination, I was having all my workup procedures done because I was very much qualified for a heart transplant. Come the mandates, and at the time I was going through most of the vaccinations that I needed, and unfortunately COVID vaccination was added because of the mandates. So my concern was how that is going to impact on my immune system and already my weakening heart. Unfortunately, the doctors were not very supportive and were not very assuring. They pretty much said, well, this is your choice not to take the vaccination, so no jab, no heart. And they sort of classified me with drug addicts, alcoholics who make a life choice, not to give up their lifestyle. And I said, well, this is not my lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle decision. I just don't want to play Russian roulette with my life. Any questions I asked about, well, how is this going to impact my immune system? Or if something was to go wrong, like myocarditis, pericarditis. Oh, no, you've got the machines, you're covered. I said, yeah, but what about other damage? Oh, don't worry, we will take care of that. But it was not very reassuring.
Vicki took her matter to VCAT, hoping the tribunal will overturn the no jab, no heart policy of the Alfred Hospital. But when that failed, she decided that her last chance will be to crowdfund for her transplant overseas.
We are trying to help Vicki because Australia has let her down severely, and we want to do the right thing by Vicki, but not just by Vicki, by extension we're trying to help all Australians, because any one of us could be in a position like she is in now, where we're dictated to in relation to what we must do to receive any type of treatment. So we just want to send the message to the Alfred, send the message to the government that we as Australians are not going to stand by and put up with this, and we're getting a lot of support from people as they hear Vicki's story, and more Australians are saying this is wrong. Regardless of where they stand on other factors, regardless of where they stand on the vaccine, people are saying that this is wrong, this shouldn't be happening. This lady has had her chances ripped away from her here in Australia. She's a mum, she's got two young kids, she's trying to do what she can to save her life, and there are forces at work in the background, sinister forces that are sabotaging every step of the way.
It's a shame because, I'm trying to save my life really, and any assistance would be fantastic because, I've done my research, looked at costs of treatment overseas, and it costs, significant amount of money. And also for me to have to sort of live there for a little while. I'm not asking for much. No one knows how long they've got in this world. No one. But to also, play God is just not, it's not right. It's not right. I'm a mother and I want to be around for my children. I wasn't around when my son graduated. When I say I wasn't around, I was in ICU. I was in between worlds, living in the dead at the time when he graduated. I want to spend quality time with my children like any other normal mum. You know, I can't do a lot of that now. I can't plan anything. You know, I live day by day.
Vicky's a very courageous person. Her courage shines through day after day, so we're not going to let her down. We are going to get her overseas, one way or the other. We set up a fundraiser because Australia effectively has turned their back on Vicky at a corporate level, at a governmental level, but the people of Australia are better than this. So we need to all dig deep and we need to support Vicky and we need to get Vicky overseas and we're going to save her life.
What would your message be to those supporters and people that are going to support hopefully your bid to go overseas and get that heart transplant that you need?
I really want to say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I'm very humbled by the support that I'm getting. Humanity really needs to be able to stand up. And if we don't stand up for what is right, if we don't stand up for the true values of what makes a human, then we're going to lose that.
If they're watching now, anybody who's the side that has essentially stopped you from saving your own life, what would your message be to them if they were watching this right now?
Get a heart.
If you think Vicky's story is as important as I do, make sure to like, comment, but most importantly, share it far and wide because the mainstream media, they're not talking about Vicky anymore. They don't care. So it's up to you to spread her story. And then head over to rebelnews.com.au and check out the other stories the mainstream media is refusing to tell. rebelnews.com.au. Check out our other stories and support our work.